I'm Ida B. Wells. Born in 1862, I was 16 years old when my parents suffered from the yellow fever epidemic and died, and also my baby brother, leaving me responsible for raising my other 6 siblings. This I did while teaching school and with the help of our grandmother. I later attended Fisk University, and I began my lifelong project of challenging the place of Negroes in American society. I was passionate about my wish to have a decent life for Black people, a home, a well-paying job, and an education. I moved to Memphis, and there I met and married Frederick L. Barnett, who was a journalist and a civil rights worker, as I was. He was a widower with 2 boys. We had 4 children of our own. I went to work I purchased the Memphis Free Press, and I loved to write. I wrote many columns, and I did journalistic studies and exposures of unfair treatment, segregation, the horrors of the practice of lynching, which was an economic thing for suppression of Negroes. Eventually, an angry mob stormed my office, tore up my presses, and burned my offices. I was intimidated, and I was harassed. So what was I to do? I moved. I went to Memphis. I went to Chicago from Memphis. And there I realized that women's rights and civil rights were inextricably bound. And I put all my energies and my thoughts and my efforts and my work and my writing behind the emerging women's movement, which was becoming nationwide at the time. And I worked to form a club in Chicago. I formed the Alpha Club, which became the most prominent suffrage club for African American women in America. We made a mark for ourselves in Chicago when we worked to elect the first Chicago Black alderman, Oscar DePriest Sr. African American women through this came to realize the importance that they could wield in politics when they attached themselves to a political cause. The suffragists were working hard to have a national march in Washington on the eve of Woodrow Wilson's inauguration. So I went as a delegate in the Illinois delegation. But I was told when it was being formed in Washington that I couldn't walk with the delegation because I was Black and it was a white delegation. I was angry and I was hurt, and I was determined that no one was going to keep me from walking with my delegation. So I had a little plan. I waited on a street corner until the Illinois delegation was passing, and then I joined them. And 2 women from the delegation came to walk with me, and arm in arm, we finished the march. Looking over my life's work, I feel that I laid a foundation of assistance to people who were oppressed. I also feel that I laid further foundation with hope and advancement for the generations to come. I lived until 1931. I lived to see the ratification. I did not live to see the Pulitzer Prize, which was awarded to me posthumously for journalism.